Welcome back to Income Generation. You're here with David Scranton and Doug Ferris from the great town of Delaware.
Yes.
Actually, Doug, I'm sorry. I just offended.
Delaware is a state, Dave.
I know I probably just offended, what, 60, 70,000 people all at the same time, and I apologize for that. That's not very nice of me. I'm just kidding. So, it's interesting because you're in a similar market to me. I'm in Connecticut, so you're only one of two states smaller than Connecticut, so I get to pick on you a little bit. But, when people come to see you, they're nervous. Are they nervous about the markets right now, or are they confident? Are they confident that the president's going to be able to push this economy to the next level?
I got to say, we do have a mixed bag of both, but I do want to tell you that if they're not nervous about the market, we're not here to make them nervous about the market, but we certainly want to educate them that there's an opportunity, unfortunate, that they may lose a lot if they're heavily invested in the market. So I think it's a mixed bag of both at this point.
So it's really not whether the market's going up or down. It's really that, look, if you can't afford to lose it, play defense, not offense. Period, the end, common sense.
Absolutely.
So, okay, what kinds of strategies do you typically recommend for your clients that are part of the income generation, that are 50 and over, let's say within 10 years of retirement? What types of things?
Well, obviously, it comes down to really doing a very, very good fact finder and understanding the client's needs and wants. Not only current needs and wants, but possibly future needs and wants as well. And then once we determine what type of assets that they actually have, we look to put a certain percentage of those assets into a defensive position, whereas if the market does have a huge turn down or even a slight turn down, they're not going to participate in this turn down of the market itself. And again, so why take the chance and why take the risk if they can't afford to lose it? And that's really how we look at this.
And not to mention the fact that, in the last two drops, a lot of people felt like they were victimized by the stock market and maybe some by the insiders of Wall Street. Well, the reality is this. By putting some money in conservative things, next time the market drops, they can become capitalists. They've got money in more conservative stuff. They can shift into the market and take advantage of the fact that it's on sale at that point. Do you talk about that a lot with people, as I do?
We sure do, Dave. And, it always brings me back to, unfortunately, 2008. I can remember watching the television and seeing these folks that are really going through an unfortunate time. But I remember one gentleman in particular who said he's been retired for 6 months and now he lost about 40% of his assets and he has to go back to work. So my first thinking, of course, thinking as a financial advisor, is number one, either he was ultra greedy or he had some very poor advice. Now, you feel bad for them, but I think that is greed at that point in time. As you know, we've got to lean a little bit more to the liquidity side and a little bit more the conservative side the closer we are to retirement.
And it's hard, as you know, with everything else you read and hear about is about offense, how to grow your money. It's hard for the average investor to know what you're talking about. But Doug, thanks for being on the show.
Absolutely.
And you stay with us here. We'll be right back with more on the Income Generation. I'm David Scranton.